It's time to dive into the latest news and updates about Outriders. We've got a lot to go over in this video, including a new legendary farming tactic that will literally double your legendary rewards. It's totally worth looking into because, yeah, it's probably going to be patched. A massive skill gap between powers and weapons that needs to be discussed and addressed. And new sales chart figures for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. It's looking really good. And new fixes for matchmaking errors that you may be experiencing in co-op. So let's dive in. Hey everyone, what's happening? Open World Games here. Hope you're doing good. And let's do this. Alright, also remember, check out my Discord in the description below if you want to find a squad. I've added voice channels, so if you really want to communicate with people on like World Tier 15, go for it. Also, check out my streams, hop in, say hello. Would love to have you guys drop by. Now, first, let's talk about this right here. It's called a glitch, an easy legendary rewards glitch that will double your legendaries. This comes from Whipper105. He says, hey, me and my friends have been grinding Outriders since the launch, and I think we found a bug that gives legendary weapons and gears easily. Disclaimer, you need to be at least 2 people for this glitch. What you need, you both need to unlock the hunt and the bounty at Trenchtown. Pretty easy to do. One person needs to have to complete all the hunt for gears or bounty for weapons, and the other one needs to have done none or some of the quest. When you finish all 10 hunt or bounties, you get a random legendary weapons or gears. However, we found out that if you redeem a quest that you have done with someone in your squad after the 10th one, you receive another legendary. So it's basically doubling your legendary rewards. So now all you need to do is being with your friend that is not done a hunt. He begins the hunt, you do it with him, and even if you don't have the quest marked or anything, when you return to Trenchtown, the guy will give you another legendary. So that's how you do that one, and it is confirmed to actually work, by the way. So I'm not just giving you guys some weird glitch or quest that doesn't work. You know, my opinion is, I personally like to play the game regularly, you know. But if you want to try these glitches or farming tactics, go for it. I imagine this one will be patched in time. So, also another really big discussion right now is this right here. This kind of pokes fun at the fact that everyone is using volcanic rounds, blighted rounds, and then twisted rounds. And that's pretty much the go-to. It has 2,400 upvotes right there. And we have another topic that kind of piggybacks off this one right here. It discusses this. So I've leveled the 4 classes to 20 plus, and Anomaly Powers skills need huge buffs to keep up with bullet powers. The gap is insane right now. And he says one choice is buffing everything else, lowering cooldowns. The bad choice is nerfing the bullet skills. I totally agree with that one. I would hate for those bullet skills to be nerfed. They are so overpowered, I've already started gearing for the eventual nerf. Also, whoever the hell designed that giant worm boss obviously never played Devastator. Can we get less of these bosses where most of the entire class toolkit is useless? Thanks. That's one of my biggest complaints with the bosses. I will never understand why they have these bosses where you're hardly using your toolkit. Yeah, they have like the little underlings that you face off against, and then you can potentially use your abilities and powers. But yeah, if they do more DLC in the future and they include these big epic bosses, I hope that they also consider the fact that we want to use our powers. But with the actual gap between Anomaly Powers and skills, in my opinion, it really is obvious that this is a problem in the game right now. And also, a lot of people are afraid to invest in that lower skill tree that is dedicated to Anomaly Powers because they're like, huh, what's the point? Of course, there are things that you can do with that, but a lot of people go after that, you know, the actual, the skill tree that increases your gun power, your weapon power. All right, let's go ahead and talk about this. You guys know that Outriders has been an immense success on Xbox Game Pass, so check this out right here. This is a huge rumor related to Xbox Game Pass. It says, after Outriders and MLB The Show, Battlefield 6 rumored to hit Xbox Game Pass on day 1. Now, I'm going to keep my eye on this rumor for sure, but that would be absolutely massive for Game Pass. We're going to be talking about how there are some comparisons with this game, Outriders, to another well-known franchise, and it's Diablo. It says, this game is not Destiny, it's Diablo. It says, in Diablo 3, you reach the maximum level pretty fast. And by the way, this comes from Biomessy. He further says, the game doesn't really start until you do so. The story mode is only needed so you can play the endless looting mode. This sounds familiar. After the maximum level, you keep getting strong by looting, another type of leveling, which I think would be really good in Outriders. Now, in Diablo 3, the endless looting mode has 3 options: redo some missions, rifts, greater rifts, like expeditions with a plus, but Diablo didn't have those for years. You have all these skills, but you have to choose a few to use in good synergy and accordingly to your equipment. Your status is actually defined by the loot. Now, he goes on to talk about also how People Can Fly and Square Enix can further feed off of Diablo with its DLC and post-launch content. Let's see what he had to say. It's a really good read. He says, so now that we've all finished the story mode, I think a good way to continue the game would be following Diablo 3. Add more legendary gear. Yes, please. So that the number of builds don't get limited by the variety of legendaries. Expansion should add not only more story missions, but also more levels, maybe reaching level 50. And definitely more classes so people feel like playing it all again. With more levels, there should be more expedition levels as well. Diablo has rifts up to level 70, but greater rifts have no limit at all. You just keep going up. And that's absolutely great to keep people interested in. Now, making that perfect build to be a record and go to the top 500 players is always good motivation, since it's all based on looting because maximum level is easily reached, and there should be a more complex system to make builds. PvP would be nice. PvP for me, that's not too much of a concern whatsoever. I agree with everything else in his post there. I would love to see extra characters. That's one thing, because I feel like it makes the game highly, highly replayable. I cannot wait, honestly, to start from scratch and to try all of the classes once again. So I'm actually super hyped to do that here in the future. But right now, I am diving into expeditions and also waiting for my twin bro to catch up to my level as well. Come on, Ryan, let's go. Okay, so let's talk about the success of Outriders right now. A follow-up on that. Outriders ends Valheim's run at Steam #1 spot. As you can see, it took it over. Outriders sitting at the top right there. It Takes Two, an EA original, is #2 right there. Binding of Isaac, and then Valheim right there. So yeah, impressive numbers for sure once again. But also on Xbox, we're seeing that it is sitting here in #5 on the Xbox gameplay charts, showcasing how much people are actually sitting and playing this game, and people are staying in the game for long durations. Now, on the side of PlayStation, 83% of Outriders' physical UK launch sales were on PlayStation, so that's no joke. PlayStation is still a powerhouse, of course, and it just shows that on pretty much all platforms with this game, Outriders has been immensely successful, and that's really good news. It shows that People Can Fly, Square Enix are willing to show love to all platforms, and I personally think that is really important. Now, the biggest question is, why is Outriders always online? And that was highlighted in this article right here. It's still a very big discussion. However, the good news is servers have stabilized for the most part. But again, I do think they need to patch an option to take the game offline in the future. And, more companies need that option, especially if they're going to be dealing with a game that's online only and is going to have problems at launch. All right, so if you're having problems actually getting into co-op and matchmaking, check it out right here. It says, here's how to fix the game not found error in Outriders. If we scroll down on this article right here, you can try these things to fix the game not matchmaking error in Outriders. Select try again. When prompted, turn on crossplay, restart the game. So make sure that you have crossplay turned on, of course. Now, I'm going to throw this article in the description below because there's further details on how you can address this and instructions. Of course, it goes beyond that, what I just said. But yeah, they're right now fixing crossplay, but if you do shut it off, apparently it's going to affect your online connection even more than you realize. as well, apparently. But honestly, my opinion is this: be careful doing crossplay. It's been with PC and you know, between PC and consoles. That's the big one to be careful of. I personally wouldn't turn it on myself. Now, also, this is another discussion right here, and I think this is going to actually be patched, I believe, in the very near future. Shadow Man says this: vertical sensitivity lowering while shooting is probably why a lot of you can't find a good sensitivity setting. And he says this: if you don't know what I'm talking about, take an SMG and aim straight ahead and start aiming down. You'll notice your vertical sensitivity is dynamically lowering. This is especially noticeable in SMGs where you can unload your whole mag into something close range, as that's how they have designed the guns to be used. It's especially arduous when something small is running at you and you can't even aim down to shoot it. So yeah, officially what People Can Fly has said about this is right here. I'll just pop in really quick here. It's a feature, not a bug. Essentially, the longer you hold the trigger, the more recoil gun amass and becomes more difficult to control. Therefore, sensitivity lowers. The idea behind it is that, yes, you can do very long bursts with certain weapons, but it also has a price in accuracy and lowered ease of use. Short controlled bursts are rewarded with more accuracy at the cost of time to kill, which you can compensate by headshots. It's also set per weapon variant, so maybe it's just a specific variant that is too difficult. I'll look into this. I'll look into adding this onto my list, but it's a long list at this moment. Follows up by saying this may also be one of the reasons why some of you are saying the aiming feels clunky. That's because it is. I'm of the opinion that no game should ever risk your sensitivity setting from you for any reason whatsoever. Simulated recoil doesn't need to be a thing. Guns have actual recoil, and I would much rather they add that instead. Do you guys agree? Anything to improve the controls? Because yes, there are some wonky moments for sure with the controls. So that is something I totally agree with this game. Alrighty then, guess what time it is? It's time for your top comments. Remember to leave a comment down below. It can end up right here in a future video. Let's do this. My most recent video was this one right here. Absolutely amazing news. This is big for the future new legendary weapon drops. Now, this news right here was really cool because, of course, now Outriders is really showcasing how much of a powerhouse it actually is because of the concurrent numbers. The highest peak surpassed that of Borderlands 3 and Borderlands 2, and it's going toe-to-toe right now with some of the biggest looter-shooter games out there. So let's see your response to this news, shall we? Coin Tangent says this game is the definition of the sway of the world. Dom says the game is insanely fire and out of nowhere. That's how I feel about it. I only really heard about this game with the demo, and I was like, what is this game? Holy crap. Affliction says, thanks for staying so positive about the game. I really do hope it's a success, and I'm having tons of fun. Same here, man. Cameron says, I plan to have max level on all classes plus characters just for crossplay. Just amazing. Sigma X Core says, love the updates videos on Outriders. Just don't burn yourself out with all the uploads. Don't worry, I got you guys covered. Lucid says, yo, didn't you just post like 2-3 hours ago? Not complaining at all. J-Bone says this, taking my time with this one, got my tricksters to level 20 and world tier 8, doing some side quests before I head out of the forest. Love how I can swap skills, class points, mod, or even world tier when things get tough. Yeah, there's so many ways to adjust your character on the fly, and that's why we do also need loadouts, because it would make it a lot easier in the future. So I really do cross my fingers that People Can Fly is paying attention to the request for loadouts, because they really do need that. There it is. Thank you all so much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Send those comments in, and also remember, check out the streams, check out the Discord. Those are linked in the description below. I have voice channels set up for you all sorts of cool stuff. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you all next time. Take care.